Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your daily shot of sharp business intel, global trends and market movers. It's Friday, May 30th. I'm Nelson John. It's a packed Friday and the headlines are firing on all cylinders. India's economy is holding firm in choppy global waters. COVID's creeping back, but the experts say don't panic. Trade talks with the US are on a ticking clock. SEBI's clamped down on wild F&O bets, and Trump's tariff just won't quit. Let's break it all down, fast, crisp and clear. This is Top of the Morning. The Reserve Bank of India just dropped its annual report, and it's a mixed bag. The RBI warns that rising input costs, global protectionism and tariff wars could throw a wrench in India's growth engine. But despite the global chaos, India is still the fastest growing major economy. The central bank highlighted domestic resilience in FY25, driven by strong consumption, solid exports, and a buoyant farm sector. Inflation is cooling. April's retail inflation hit a 6-year low at 3.16%, and rate cuts may be on the cards. Experts predict a possible 25 basis points repo rate cut in June. India's forex reserves remain healthy. Fiscal consolidation is on track and government spending on capex continues to fuel momentum. On the horizon, a robust farm outlook, easing supply chains and new trade deals with the US, EU and others, reports Mint's Shayan Ghosh and Anshika Kyasta. But the RBI isn't complacent. It's pushing for better stress tests, cyber risk checks, and climate impact assessment for banks and NBFCs. And with the central bank transferring a record 2.69 trillion rupees to the government, its balance sheet is in solid shape. So yes, the global skies may be cloudy, but India's economic engine for now looks built for the storm. India's COVID radar is back on high alert. With fresh surges in cities like Delhi, Mumbai and Bengaluru, the centre has set up a special committee to review vaccine stocks, testing protocols and hospital readiness. The numbers are still low, just over 1,000 active cases and a few reported deaths. But health officials are not taking chances. The panel, made up of top scientists from ICMR, NCDC and DGHS, is urging stronger surveillance, ramped up testing and preparedness, especially for the elderly and those with comorbidities. The concern? Two new variants, NB 1.8.1 and LF7, are now circulating. But early signs suggest the virus is mild. Almost everyone has hybrid immunity now, natural plus vaccine, said a government scientist. Booster shots? Not necessary at this point. Vaccine stocks are low, with no fresh doses made in the past year. Experts like Dr. Soumya Swaminathan says there is no need for panic. Instead, she urges vaccine makers to prepare updated doses, just in case a more dangerous variant shows up. The WHO hasn't flagged the new variant as a threat yet. For now, the focus is on staying prepared, not scared. The clock is ticking on a high-stakes trade deal. India and the US are racing up to wrap up a long-awaited bilateral agreement, with American negotiators expected in Delhi next week for what could be the final round. The goal? Seal the deal by late June, before a critical 8th July deadline, when Trump's tariff could return. India's chief negotiator, Rajesh Agrawal, says this is more than just a tariff fix. Speaking at the CII summit, he called it a defining partnership in a world where markets and supply chains are being weaponized. The deal covers sensitive sectors like auto, agriculture, digital trade, and opens doors to US businesses while giving India a strategic edge. This isn't about deficits, it's about opportunity, Agrawal said, urging Indian industries to rise to the moment. We must become both a major supplier and a resilient consumer economy. While a US court just ruled Trump's tariff illegal, India is pressing ahead, seeing the deal as a chance to stabilize global trade ties, attract investment, and fuel its $30 trillion economy vision by 2047. India's message to the world: we're open, ready, and playing long game diplomacy. Starting 1st of July, India's market watchdog SEBI is rolling out a sweeping overhaul of how equity derivatives are regulated, aimed at taming risk and curbing manipulation in the red-hot F&O space. At the heart of the new rule is a smarter metric: delta adjusted open interest. It accounts for how sensitive a trader's position is to price swings in the underlying asset, providing a truer picture of risk exposure. Limits are being set. For index options, traders can take net directional bets up to 1,500 crore rupees and gross exposure of 10,000 crore rupees backed by cash or securities. From 1st of October, SEBI will also revise how much can be traded in single stock derivatives, tying limits to delivery volumes in the cash market. Think of it as a capping risk where liquidity is thin. The move follows SEBI's concerns that retail investors lost 1.89 trillion rupees to expiry date trades, while HFTs profited big, reports Min's Neha Joshi. Earlier steps like tripling index option lot sizes and restricting weekly expiries were just the beginning. SEBI's message? The Wild West days of F&O trading are ending. Time to trade smart or stay sidelined. Donald Trump's controversial tariffs just got a temporary lifeline. A federal appeals court has allowed the president to continue imposing tariffs under emergency powers, at least for now. The decision came a day after a trade court ruled that Trump had overstepped his authority by using a 1977 law to declare a national emergency and slap tariffs on imports from nearly every country. Trump's team called the tariffs critical for national security, and the appeals court agreed to pause the lower court's ruling while legal fight continues. Critics argue these Liberation Day tariffs were more than just personal policy than national interest, and several lawsuits say they've disrupted trade, spooked markets, and pushed up prices. The administration is leaning on precedent, citing a Nixon-era case where emergency tariffs were upheld. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro insists that the tariffs will stay put for now, and if courts don't cooperate, they'll find another way to keep them alive. It's not over, Navarro told reporters. We have other tools. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in. We are eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest in business news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great weekend.